KSK book review. Got Noah with me on this one as well. Okay. This one is Ugly Americans. This one is by Ben Mezrich. He also, Bringing Down the House. Yep, he's the author of the bestseller Bringing Down the House also. This is one of the books that I picked up. I read, I put back down, I picked it up again, I read. It was a lot of, like I said, some of these books just have a lot of fluff in them, and you just kind of want to just get to it. But what this book was about, it was about a lot of American guys, Ivy League guys. They ended up going over to the Asian markets and they made a killing, and then came back. They went over to Japan, Tokyo, Tokyo, Japan. They went over to Singapore, Japan, all over Japan, I should say. And where else did they go? They were over in China, and other places over in Asia. They flew around a lot over there. They jumped around a lot, but mainly it was in Japan and China and the different cities in Japan and China. I can't remember all of the cities that they were in, but anyway, but they went over into the markets. They got involved in some stuff that they shouldn't have got involved in. I'm not trying to ruin the book, but some of the stuff that they got involved in, it was a lot of underworld stuff. But the good thing about this book that I liked, one of the things I liked, that it take your mind thinking about like Asian markets and like what was going on over there, because Ben, he did a really good job of painting how it looked over there with the cars, the scene, the street and all that, and then being from America, being outsiders and over there, over there in Tokyo, and what they were doing, how they were moving, and them constantly being reminded that they were, not, in America, and they were Americans, that whole thing. But it's good. It was a fun book, a really fun book. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the beginning, I know a lot of authors, they have to build up the characters and then give it to you, but I just felt like this was one of those books where he built it up. But I wanted to know about what was going on in those Asian markets. I just and he kind of got into that about midway, and then then he just started throwing everything at you at the end. I would say, which I could have done without. They almost could have broke that up. Almost, if I could have started reading it from midway, and then did the rest, I would have got what I wanted out of the book. But anyway, it was a good book. It was a lot that I like how just thinking of and the different things that they were saying, what was going on over there in China and Japan, and how they do business out there. It was different than the stock exchange and what happens in New York. But and they were back and forth, traveling. Then they made their money, made a killing, came back to the States, and went from there. But the way the book starts, it's a reporter who's getting the story from the main character in the book, and his story about and how everything went, and how he went over to the Asian markets, did his thing. Of course, he dealing with the women over there, ended up getting a girl from over there. A woman from over there, falling in love, the whole thing, the cars, the motorcycles, the gangs over there, the politics, and how the politics is different over there, and how the government is so involved in the businesses over there in China and Japan. So he went into that. But yep. But yeah, definitely a good book, Ivy League book. Fun book. Definitely something you can pick up, page turner. But like I said, a lot of it, he dives into it at the end. He goes into like how the different with the private mutual funds, outpacing the investment banks and stuff like that. and the risks with that. You know, he kind of get into a little bit of that and what those guys were making, the CEOs. Some with the guy he was talking about how he was making, you know, the 100 million a year. One of the guys, and their thoughts and what their thinking was as they're making the transactions. Some of the transactions was not good. A lot of them were good. A lot of them were not good at all. And they, you know, it gets into that. But a great book. Great book about halfway through when you get about about midway. All right. So again, Ben Mezrich. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Ugly Americans, Asian Markets, Ivy League, jumping those Asian markets, and then the boys went over there and did their thing. All right. Yep.